Hi peeps and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Mayama. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment and share. For those who are always supporting me, thank you. Thank you so much. For the new subscribers, welcome. For the coming back subscribers, welcome back. I love you all. My goodness. I just ate some gaderi now. So full. But I thank God. I thank God because at least I have something to eat. And I pray for those who don't have, by the way. So, guys, I've really missed you. It has been a week and one day. Hey, nowadays, mimi sijui niko aje. I'm always busy. By the way, I'm always busy. There are something that I'm working on it, so I'll tell you after it may succeed. Kama nimemalizana nayo, don't need to, that's when I will tell you that, oh, I've been doing this and that. That's why you are not seeing me. But meanwhile, for now, let's talk about, like, currently I'm in Qatar, by the way. I'm in Qatar, so today we're going to talk about the common differences between the common differences of the common differences between working in Qatar and in Kenya. You can't just. Oh my goodness! I have the experience. I have the experience of staying in Kenya, and I also have the experience of staying in Qatar. One, one is that working in Qatar, like for any non-Qatarian, or how will I put it? For any foreigner here in Qatar, you'll have a residential permit, which will be renewed yearly. For example, my own is going to expire on. Huh? By the way, hey, it has expired. Oh my goodness, I'll have to update my manager so that he will give me a different one. This is how the residential permit looks like. Immediately you reach this country, you'll go to any cyber. Let me show you. Then you'll be given. It's like a national ID, but this is for Qatar. It is with Qatar logo. Let me show you. Hope you've seen it. So I always put it here at the back of this Redmi phone. Hey, because when I put it inside my handbag, anytime I go out, I always change bag. So like this one, if this one I forget it at home, and then police get me, like I'll be arrested for this. This one you must work with it. You must work. You must be working with it. So because this phone is my favorite phone, it's always at the back of it for my safety. So this one is expired on 13th November. So it has an allowance of 3 months. So like I have time, like my company will have to renew it. They have only 3 months, by the way. I'll have to tell them. I have to send them message. And uh, and in Kenya, I've never seen like a foreigner struggling there with a residential permit. Yeah. And another thing is that we work with time, like 8 hours and a maximum of 12 hours. There are some people who work 12 hours, and the minimum time is the normal time is 8 hours. That one will be given, and anything above 8 hours, that will be your overtime. And in Kenya, unlike in Kenya, you work, and then you see like they want to take all of your 24 hours, but what they do. And then another difference is that here they worship on Friday. Even for us, we always go to church on Friday, but they are worship in Lifestyle Church of Hamush. Our pastor is Pastor Mike Omundu. So I worship in Lifestyle church, and we always go there on Friday. And then their weekend in Kenya, worship day is on Sunday. And then again, everything like you cannot just enter in people's houses anyhowly. You'll have an appointment. Unlike in our country, hey, unajialika tu. Hata ujaliko unajalika tu. Hata sijui niseme aje. I don't know how to put it. I think all Africa is like that. And then another point, I'm just trying to think about them randomly. I've not written them down because. And then another different thing is that Qataris will be valued more than us. Qataris, like it's their country. And like for us in Kenyans, for example, anytime they see white people, oh my goodness, they want to give them our own country. I don't know. So they value their people the most. And then another point is they respect women. They respect women so much. Like they respect both genders. Like when you, for example, like on in church, we always go with church bus. So it's very very illegal. Like you're going in the same bus with like boys and girls in one bus. It's illegal. Boys will have to go on their own. Women will have to go in their own. And then love is prohibited. Like loving people anyhow, you need to have your marriage certificate. If you don't have a marriage certificate, and then they find you outside kissing yourself or doing all those love things, you'll be arrested and deported back to your home. And then another point, unlike in our home, even like I don't want to even talk about it. In our country, you can love as many women as you want any place that you want. You don't like they don't consider that. And then throwing trash outside, it's illegal. In Kenya, we will throw even when you are outside the car. We just throw, which makes it's not wow. It makes our country more dirty. And then again, working here, the main point is working here also will enable you. Like if you are smart enough, you will have to save your money well. Like in Kenya, maybe like you're working, then you have to pay for your house, you have to pay for transport, you have to pay for your hospital bills. No, here we have medical cards. My own, I think it's one of the handbags, and I'll not get it now. I always look for it when I am not feeling well. So you be given medical card immediately you reach the country, and then house, like accommodation, and then transport in and out your work. Not unless you're using a different visa or you are on independent visa. I don't know if that one is introduced here, but once you're under the sponsor or under the company will be responsible for you. Like anytime you feel sick, they'll be responsible. So they always make it easy by giving you a medical card. And so here, like for example, you are not paying your rent, you're not paying for your hospital bill, you're not paying rent, you're not paying the transport. Probably the money that you get, the little that you get, you'll have to save and try to help your family, and at the same time you will save. So I always consider like working here is much more better than working in our own country, because you might find out that someone who is earning in Kenya like 80,000 Kenya shillings, and someone who is earning here in quarter 30,000, for example, or 20,000, they will never be the same, because the person earning 80,000 in our home country, you see, like maybe once most of us Kenyans, we have that mentality that when you are getting 80,000, you'll have to go to that expensive house. Maybe your rent alone you'll be paying like 15,000 or 20,000. Remaining 60, I'm saying this example. And then the 60, you'll have to pay for your electricity, you have to pay for your transport, etc. So you might find out that maybe you are remaining with 10,000 for your savings. You understand? Maybe one of your own is sick, you'll have to pay for that. So, and someone who's getting like 30,000 Qatari riyal, maybe they'll have because they always give our food give us food allowance. For example, in my company, they always give you 8,000 every month for your food. So like if you've been given food already and then you have your own salary, you'll have to save. Not unless maybe that food, if you're smart enough, that money you can buy food, like you do enough shopping this month, next month maybe you'll have to buy your sanitary towels enough. So the next month food allowance you can use it even to save. So it's much more easier here to save than in our home country. And again, here you'll have to consider time. And like in our countries, you see that every time you are wasting time, anytime you'll be late. Here, no. Once you are late, that is it. And once you have worked, like for example, you have overworked, that is already your overtime. There is nothing for free, and we don't waste time here. Another point is the transport system is just Uber, and we have Metro. You, yeah, Metro and Uber, just like Kenya. But we don't. I've not seen those buses of you just go and enter into the bus anyhow, like in our home country. No, you'll have to book Uber. We mostly use Uber. Those taxi things, taxi method, and then their food, rice. But nowadays we have ugali, we have all types of food here. Now we have African food. It has been introduced, but mostly, like when you're working with Qataris, you'll be using rice mostly. But their food is rice, but they don't use our our Kenyan food like gaderi like that. But some of them they eat beans, but they cook it differently. Porridge, you see that they preparing it differently from mandazi flour like that. But nowadays, I see some of my Qatari families they like mandazi too much, mandazi and porridge. Hey, especially my sister Fatuma, she like porridge so much, and then Baba side love mandazis. So you see, mostly they eat rice. You see, like maybe but for them, their main food is rice. You see, rice, chicken, rice, fish, rice, mutton, but they don't eat meat. They say it's haram. They don't take pork. Also, they say it's haram. But in most supermarkets also they sell meat for us Christians. So like their food is mainly rice. And like for us, we have rice, we have all types of food. And then for them here in Qatar, everything you will buy. In our home country, mostly you get from farm. So which makes it more advantageous, unlike here. So here most food you'll have to buy, and avocado you can we you if you want to buy avocado, you buy it with 380 or 400 one, and then in Kenya it's free. When avocado is my favorite fruit. So when I talk about avocado and the price, I feel sad. Okay, and another point is here it doesn't rain. It rains. Rarely rains. It rarely rains. But when it's winter time, my goodness, it's extremely cold. And when it's summer, it's extremely summer. And during Ramadan, in Kenya, you see it rains, and you see our weather is always good, like no need of air conditions. But here, it's must you be using your air conditions. And then no, this pickpocketing. Those people who just pick your money, they just take, like they just snatch some things from you, your phone, like that. Here, there's nothing like that. It's so safe. Like even you can leave your phone out, you can leave it somewhere, then you go, then still you'll get it. And another thing is making our hair is also expensive. Getting braids. By the way, guys, one braid in Kenya is one braid in Kenya, I think is 60 bob or 70. Here you will get it with 400 now, according to the currency now, 400. Braid moja, one braid is 400. And because for someone like me who has a big head, I always consume six. That is 400, that is 2,400 just buying braids. I have not plated it. Oh my goodness. We'll have to shave our hair, by the way. I cannot be taking a whole coat on my head. And then another point is like me, let me tell you people, like for me, I always say that this place is so nice. Once you respect them, you'll have to you'll have to consider rules. You'll have to consider their rules. You have to keep rules. And then here, like we have family gatherings, we have parties, but alcohol is prohibited. Prohibited. Wakiluya jamani, inanipeleka mbio, ulimi wangu umekataa kabisa. Mama yangu anafaa kome kuniongelesha hiyo kikabarasi yake, inaniharibia lugha, inaniharibia English. Mama yangu badala akae huko kwa Stockfarm Village ajifunze kuniongelesha English, ananiongelesha kikabarasi. Sasa ona, see my life now. Anyway, I love my mother so much. So, alcohol is prohibited. And then when you want to give birth from this country, again, it's okay, but it's very expensive. You'll need a visa. Even if you give birth for a baby of 1 day, that child needs a visa. And then he or she will also need residential permit, which is not that cheap. And then another thing, I'm just sitting here, today I've just said that I've just decided to talk to you. So working in Qatar is so good, and like working in Kenya also is good because. And then here also, once you've been chosen that you are coming to be a cleaner, you will definitely be a cleaner. Unlike in our country, oh my goodness, you have been like, even you get a job, you know that you are good, doing good, not knowing immediately you reach at your working place, 2 to 3 months, corruption is done, you are fired. One of the family members has been employed. You've been replaced. So working here is much more good. Like they are loyal. They are loyal and they are real. And then another thing that it makes it so different. I think okay. Like everywhere there are cameras everywhere. Like once we've been called to work in school, or like my last year I was working in school. So once you're in school, in special school, once you're in that school, you see people, there are cameras all over. Once you are under the company, don't do something that is not allowed. When they tell you, okay, put your down, don't take your phone until this particular time. Eh, until this particular time, you have to respect. Because once they say, okay, the boss has gone, let me take the phone. The camera is capturing you. Immediately you are fired. So everything here, manze. Kuna tu cameras kila place, nini, and there is no corruption. There is no corruption. I've never seen corruption. And then another thing is, mostly you'll be from work, home, work. So you see, if you're not careful, you'll grow fat like me. Don't try that. Walk, do some exercises. And then Qatar is so nice. They've really helped most of us. And once you come here, once I get other points, I'll be telling you as we continue. So working in Qatar, for me, I see that working in Qatar is much more better than working in, like, staying in Qatar is much more better. Though home is the best. You'll miss your family, of course, but we are just looking for better life for them too. So working in Qatar is good. There are some disadvantages, but those ones I'll talk about them in my next video. Please, thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Happy December, by the way. Hey, Disemba imefika, umepanga aje? Inakunais ukiwa wapi? Ama wivu inakumaliza ukiwa wapi? So that is it. So let's meet in my next video, guys. I love you. I'll be coming here. You know, now I'm just sitting here. I'll be doing like this frequently because when I say, oh, let me prepare myself, I'll do this and that before I come, I'll never do it. But now I've just collected myself and said, no, before you sleep, do this and that. And others, I love you so, so much, guys. Enjoy your holidays. In Kenya, I know now they are in their holidays. Enjoy and happy December.